What was it like trying to, like, I guess, find the voice for Odin? Like, what was your inspiration for your take on Odin?
I just went up. Well, there's a couple of things I need to say about that. First of all, it's my son, Gus, who you might have read, is the reason why I did this thing in the first place, because he was, in the car when I got the call, and he was like, "Do it, do it, do it, do it." And I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what *Got-of-War* was. He's like, he was playing it from the original game, and it's his favorite game, and he's a mythology freak, my son. So from a very young age, he knows all of the Greek mythology, Roman mythology, Norse mythology, every kind of mythology. He is an expert on. So I needed my son to explain to me how this particular concept had mixed the mythologies up a little bit, and so forth and so on. But all I really needed to know was Odin is the All-Father, and he's the god of and that knowledge. He wanted to know everything. He wanted to know everything, which I think comes down to knowing the reason that you're here, and maybe knowing so much that you can become even that much more powerful, and maybe even eternal, and all that stuff, right? So, so someone who has an obsession with anything is very interesting to me as a character to play. But the obsession with knowledge and wisdom is something that really interested me. So what does someone like that do, and how does he manipulate himself? Considering I'm not the strongest person in this universe, I'm not the biggest person in this universe. How do I amass the knowledge enough to become all powerful as well as all knowing? Omnipotent and omniscient and all of those things. So he needs to be manipulative. He needs to be able to understand behavior and understand what other people want and how badly they want it, in order to manipulate them, to get them to operate at his beckoning, if that makes any kind of sense. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely, yeah. And I got to say, shout out, to your son Gus, because I'm glad he convinced you to do it, because like you gave a phenomenal performance. Has your son? He didn't
convince me. He just insisted that I do it. He didn't really convince me, but there was no choice.
Yeah, he was
Sorry, go ahead.
"You're doing this, Dad." So have you experienced it with your son, the Ragnarok?
I have not played it, no. I'm kind of loving the response that I'm getting from the world, from Twitter and from other people. Like, I don't know if you know the actor David Harbour from Stranger Things, but he came running up to me the other night. I'm here in New York City, and he goes, "Dude, I just killed you. It was phenomenal." For David to come running up to me with that comment was hysterical to me. So I love the reaction I'm getting, and I don't need to see it to myself. I might someday. I love what they did with the image, and I love what they did with the character visually. They showed me posters of it or pictures of it. I've seen it on the web. But no, my son absolutely loves the game, and has told me he loves me in it, and that's important to me, and that's very cool. And I love the discussions that I've seen online about my interpretation, or our interpretation, I should say, because Eric and Matt and Corey and everybody have certainly had input. And I kind of really relish everyone's reaction without really knowing specifically what they're reacting to. And so, to answer your question, it was odd and challenging and a little bit nerve-wracking, but so much fun, and there were such amazing people that it made it a happy experience.
Well, you definitely have become my favorite in pop culture, cultural media, you've become my favorite Odin interpretation, even surpassing that of the MCU's interpretation. I'm not going to throw any shade. I'm just saying you are my favorite interpretation of Odin that I've seen in media.
I really appreciate that. That's very kind of you to say it. But think of how intimidated I was to know that Anthony Hopkins was Odin. It's like, and I didn't find that out until well after I took, because I wasn't aware of the Marvel universe so much at that point in time. And then, so I took it and then I hear that Anthony Hopkins get what? I'm like, what? It's like, here's a mitt. Go be like Mickey Mantle. Go be Aaron Judge. Here's a bat. Let's see what you can do.
Yeah, I definitely want to see you pop up in another video game. Honestly, it's always a pleasure whenever I see you pop up on the big screen, on the small screen. So I mean, it was a surprise when I saw you pop up while playing Ragnarok. It was a pleasant surprise. It was a welcome surprise, of course. So hopefully we'll get to see you in future video games as well.
I appreciate that. That's really sweet and very kind.
Thank you so much, Richard. It was a pleasure talking to you.
And same back at you, and thanks for having me.